Humph, humph. I teased Xing Yishan with a laugh. You're only just realizing that now? I stopped being a kid a long time ago. Xing Yishan's expression stiffened. I was being disrespectful again. All right, you stinky Xiaofeng. Xing Yishan's small fist clenched, and she suddenly pinched my ear, revealing that non-smile smile. I've told you before, don't say such improper things outside. Do you not remember, or are you treating my words as if they go in one ear and out the other? Huh? What? I wasn't scared at all. On the contrary, I laughed and leaned forward. Auntie Xing, it's too noisy, I can't hear you. At this very moment, afraid I would back out, Zhu Rubing, hugging a stack of contracts, hurried over. Because she ran too fast, she was a little out of breath. Even on her fair forehead, there was a thin layer of sweat. Pant, Mr. Chu, I've kept you waiting. Zhu Rubing wiped the sweat with the back of her hand. Just as she caught her breath, she saw this intimate scene. I was leaning close to Xing Yishan, smiling playfully. And not only did she not push me away, she was even gently holding my arm with both hands. This intimate appearance. Sorry, Mr. Chu, I didn't mean to. I really didn't see anything. Zhu Rubing suddenly covered her flustered face with the contract, then hastily turned to lean against the wall. Seemingly feeling that wasn't appropriate, she turned her back and took small steps to thoughtfully pull the door closed. It's over. It's really over this time. Leaning against the wall, Zhu Rubing wanted to cry but had no tears. In the private room, Xing Yishan's cheeks were flushed. She shot me a pretend angry glance. Naughty Xiaofeng, look at the mess you've made. Hurry up and sit properly. But I had no intention of moving. Instead, I laughed and said, before Zhu Rubing came, you told me to sit properly. Zhu Rubing comes, and you still tell me to sit properly. Then didn't she come for nothing? Come on, she's already seen everything. Just let me lean on you for a little longer. Xing Yishan was truly rendered helpless by my shamelessness. Ugh, you, how could you be so? But for some reason, she also felt that what I said made some sense, yet it made no sense at all. But in her heart, no one knew what these 3 minutes were like for Zhu Rubing. She sat on the floor hugging the contract, her head buried in her knees, her whole body curled up, looking pitiful and helpless. If I had never seen the light, I could have endured the darkness, but I had put in so much effort and was so close to signing the contract, only to fail at this final step. This made Zhu Rubing extremely unwilling to accept it. She even had an urge to rush in and break it up. It's just that she was a little unsure about Xing Yishan's identity. Zhu Rubing's face was full of resentment. My million plus. That million plus. At this very moment, the door finally opened. I stepped out, then closed the door again. Being seen by Zhu Rubing just now, even though Xing Yishan was very happy inside, she was still a little shy. She didn't want to see anyone right now. Plus, her dress was a little wrinkled, and she needed time to fix it, so she was too lazy to come out. What's wrong, Miss Zhu? It seems you're a bit... Seeing it was me, Zhu Rubing immediately came to her senses. She hurriedly stood up and adjusted her dress. Ah, Mr. Chu, I didn't do it on purpose. I really didn't see anything. If you didn't see, you didn't see. Why are you so flustered? Give me the contract. I found it really strange. I was the one who was caught, and I wasn't even embarrassed. She was the one who caught us. Why was she being so formal? Of course, I also didn't understand Zhu Rubing's internal struggle during those 3 minutes, just how many times she had regretted it. Hearing this, Zhu Rubing was stunned. Then her face immediately showed a look of immense joy. A contract, right? The contract, Mr. Su. She originally wanted to ask if I wasn't angry, but she suddenly came to her senses. How did I suddenly become so muddled? Is this a question I should be asking? He's about to sign the contract. Taking a deep breath, her heaving chest slowly calmed down. Zhu Rubing's expression returned to normal. Once again, becoming gentle and vibrant, her eyes were filled with a smiling expression, seeing that I had signed both copies of the contract, and then even added my fingerprint, and handed over the raw king green jade, cabbing stone to her. Only then could she not hold back, and revealed an excited and joyous expression. Mr. Su, this king green cabbing stone, you can rest assured leaving it with me. This auction process will be very long, about 1 or 2 months. Please wait patiently. She couldn't wait to find a master carver, and then start building hype for the auction house. To attract clients. The most important thing is to build up the reputation. For the king green cabbing stone, attracting the attention of certain groups of people. So this process requires a lot of time. 2 months? 2 months. Zhu Rubing thought I wanted to talk about what happens later, so her face flushed slightly. Her lively eyes blinked, revealing a touching, gentle appearance. It's not limited to just 2 months. Anyway, whenever Mr. Su needs me, just find me. Zhu Rubing had a hint of a smile on her face. All right, Mr. Su. I'll go contact the master carver right now. If you need anything, you must call me. She handed me her exclusive business card. Then hugging the raw stone, she excitedly turned and left. Suddenly thinking of something, Zhu Rubing turned her head back. Her smiling eyes glanced at me. Her gaze was gentle. Goodbye. She raised her small hand, making a farewell gesture, giving a little wave. Then she turned and walked away with light steps. Such a graceful figure is truly rare. This vibrant woman, really, is gentle to the bone, but without any sense of gaudy vulgarity. She's very much to my taste. I really appreciate her. Let's go, Auntie Xing. Let's go home. Aren't you going to meet that drunkard auntie later? After saying that, soon. Xing Yishan and I returned to the villa, but just as we opened the door, a small foot came into view, delivering a sudden light kick. My God, this kick was completely unexpected. When the small foot lightly kicked me, my muscular body didn't even budge an inch. It was like kicking an iron plate. Instead, the figure cried out, "Ah!" Her whole body became unsteady, stumbling towards me. She quickly reached out to grab my arm, steadying her body. "Help me up." I almost fell. The petite figure whined coquettishly. This pose of mine was supposed to be quite interesting, but my arm strength is too weak. I can't hold myself up. My whole body is about to slide down. This left me speechless. I could only extend my large hand to support this slender figure. Hey, my big nephew is still the most sensible one. He knows what to do. Also at this moment, Li Mengxi's angry shout rang out. Xing Yishan walked over with a darkened face. "What are you doing? What are you doing? You're about to shout me silly." Li Mengxi shrank back but kept her arms around me. "Get off him now." Xing Yishan tugged and tugged, but couldn't pull her off. "Ah, I don't want to. It's been over 10 hours since I last saw him. I missed my big nephew so much. Just let me hug him for a while. Hey, just a little hug." Seeing her innocent and cute appearance, Xing Yishan could only feel helpless, rubbing her forehead as she walked to the living room sofa. She plopped down, looking at Li Mengxi with resentment. "Why are you in my house? I waited for you, but you never showed up, so I came to find you. You and my big nephew. What were you doing out there? Were you secretly going on a date?" Li Mengxi closed her eyes and continued to lean against me. A sweet smile blossomed on her beautiful face. She seemed to be really enjoying this feeling. "It's just that I'm sitting now. So this posture seems a bit intimate. Li Mengxi, if you keep talking nonsense, I'm really going to deal with you." "Humph, fine, don't admit it. What's with the fierce attitude?" Xing Yishan then noticed that there were 2 or 3 empty wine bottles on the living room floor, and a few more on the coffee table, empty wine bottles lying around. "You drank again today?" "I didn't." She herself seemed a bit guilty. Li Mengxi said shyly in a low voice. "While waiting for you guys to come back, I was bored, so I had a little to drink, just a little bit, but I'm not drunk." "Big nephew, tell me, am I drunk?" "I'm not drunk, right?" "A little bit." "You call that pile of bottles on the floor a little bit?" Xing Yishan shook her head and sighed, not knowing where to even begin scolding her. "When did Su Liufeng become your big nephew?" "Since when?" Li Mengxi made a funny face and stuck out her tongue. Nya, he's your nephew. I'm your best friend. So naturally, he's my big nephew too. Does he have to acknowledge me as his godmother?" "That's fine too. I don't mind having a godson for the first time in my life. What do you say? Big nephew, you won't lose out. When I get old, all my properties will be yours. All of them will be yours." I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Is this what it feels like to be naturally close? "Godmother, wait." Li Mengxi's personality was already naive. "It's barely acceptable for you to be my uncle." But I couldn't say this out loud. At least it's not appropriate to say it now. In front of Xing Yishan, the important thing is that when this drunkard auntie gets excited and talks, I could only helplessly support her. Li Mengxi seemed to sense something. Her body trembled slightly. She looked up. Her gentle eyes carried an unconcealable smile. She reached out with her small hands and pinched my cheeks, as if kneading a doll. Li Mengxi's eyes crinkled, smiling until her eyebrows curved. "Big nephew, I haven't seen you for a day, and you've become even more handsome." She sat close to me by my legs, hooking her arm in mine, acting spoiled like a little girl. "So, will you be my godson? Will you? Will you? My assets worth hundreds of millions. We'll give them all to you, okay?" Xing Yishan sat opposite, completely speechless. From her angle, she could only see Li Mengxi's slender back and my helpless expression. She couldn't see anything else. And Xing Yishan was so annoyed and flustered that she didn't want to see this irritating scene. She crossed her arms, turned her face away, and pouted, as if she'd knocked over a whole jar of vinegar, smelling very sour. She was already tired from walking around all morning. She just wanted to return to this private space and have me help her relax a bit. But who would have expected that this drunkard would be waiting at her house? Moreover, she was now occupying the position that she had been thinking about the whole way home. "Wait." Xing Yishan seemed to have thought of something. Her gaze changed, and she said coldly, "Li Mengxi, how do you have the key to my house?" The main door of her villa didn't have a smart facial recognition lock installed, only the bedroom and some other rooms did, so it still used a mechanical lock and a passcode lock. Hearing this, Li Mengxi immediately acted like a child, proudly turning around and holding up 2 fingers. She said excitedly, "Humph, silly Sean. Have you forgotten who I am? I'm a super landlady, you know. I manage so many rental properties. Ha ha ha, there's no lock in this world that I can't open." Xing Yishan suddenly stood up, her eyes wide as she asked in disbelief, "You picked the lock on my front door?" At this question, Li Mengxi's expression immediately flashed with a hint of unnaturalness. Her gaze shifted away. After hesitating for a long time, she finally stammered a reply. "It's not really picking it. I just took it apart and couldn't put it back together." "You don't call that picking it?" Yeah, am I drunk? Wait, let me sober up a bit. I can definitely put it back together." "Sean, you have to believe me." Li Mengxi, Xing Yishan felt completely helpless with this drunkard. Yeah, Sean, be a little quieter. You're giving me a headache." No matter how angry Xing Yishan got, Li Mengxi acted as if she didn't hear. She didn't even feel guilty anymore, acting like a dead pig that's not afraid of boiling water. After all, Xing Yishan always spoiled her. She wouldn't really get angry with her, So, at this moment, she suddenly resumed her innocent, drunken expression, her eyes sparkling. She excitedly showed off like a child. Big nephew. Do you see anything different about me today? Anything different? I carefully observed Li Mengxi from top to bottom. Her long hair fell over her shoulders. Her beautiful face was exquisitely made up. You could see her makeup was more meticulous than yesterday. Naturally, she looked more beautiful, full of intellectual beauty and mature charm. You've gotten sillier. Yeah, that's not it, you silly boy. It's that I'm wearing a new type of stocking. Does it go well with this dress? As she spoke, Li Mengxi stretched out one of her long, beautiful legs. It must be said, her long legs, encased in them, looked incredibly exquisite. Li Mengxi's eyes sparkled. She turned and took from her handbag on the coffee table several pairs of new-style stockings. Like a child showing off new toys, she dangled them in front of my face. Look at the new stockings I bought. There are quite a few styles. Help me see. Which pair goes well with my dress? Young people have a good eye. Give me some advice. I remained silent. It's not that I'm being honest, but the look. In Xing Yishan's eyes was about to shoot sparks. I couldn't poke the hornet's nest right now. However, the feeling of being treated so intimately and not being able to respond made one feel a bit helpless. Not to mention, Li Mengxi was wearing a faint, pleasant-smelling perfume, which made one feel very comfortable. Her face was also flawless. If Xing Yishan weren't here, I would have given her a piece of my mind by now, telling her to stop causing trouble like this. Seeing my helpless expression, her large, gentle, and mischievous eyes, Li Mengxi kept blinking. First, it was suspicion, then a look of sudden realization. I know. Is it because your Auntie Xing is here, that you're shy? Right? Then wait until your Auntie Xing isn't here. As she said that, Li Mengxi intended to lift her leg, but she overestimated her own body's coordination and flexibility. The moment her hands wrapped around one thigh, her whole body immediately lost its balance and fell backward. The feeling of weightlessness hit her, making the little face of Li Mengxi turn pale with fright. Just as the back of her head was about to hit the coffee table, in this perilous moment, with quick hands and sharp eyes, I reached out from the side and supported Li Mengxi's arm and back, pulling her back steadily. Phew, that scared me to death. Good nephew, thank goodness for you. Li Mengxi pressed herself against my chest, feeling that steady heartbeat. I quickly regained my senses and gently helped her up, seeing Li Mengxi becoming more and more intimate with me, right in front of her. Xing Yishan couldn't help but feel a little upset. She couldn't help but stand up and walk up behind Li Mengxi with a cold expression. She rapped her right on the head. Thump, ow, that hurt so much. Li Mengxi held her head with both hands, turning around with a pained expression. Her beautiful eyes widened as she looked at Xing Yishan. Min Shan, what are you doing? It hurts so much. Xing Yishan snorted softly and said smugly, you deserve to be hit for being so improper. Li Mengxi, stop teasing a child like that. Xiaofeng is your junior. If you had a child, they'd be almost the same age as Xiaofeng. What's this talk about spoiling him? Have you no shame? This was originally meant to make Li Mengxi be more serious, but who knew that Li Mengxi's eyes would suddenly light up, and she would say excitedly, that's right. I really do see Xiaofeng as a son. This child is reliable. Of course I want to spoil him more. I'll make him some delicious food. Xing Yishan was so angry her face turned pale, her chest heaved slightly. She was clearly very provoked, but that appearance held no threat at all. On the contrary, it made people feel that she was incredibly cute. Yeah, I was just teasing Big Nephew a little. I'm not trying to steal him from you. You two are stuck together all day, like a real mother and son. I won't bother you two tonight. You drunkard. You. Xing Yishan was truly helpless when it came to Li Mengxi. When she's not drinking, she can be a bit more serious. And she'll listen to reason. But now, am I supposed to argue right and wrong with a drunkard? With a drunkard? I could go on and on here, but she basically won't listen. Instead, she'll become even more unrestrained. I really have to hand it to her. After Xing Yishan took a few deep breaths, she went into the kitchen and quickly came out holding a spatula. I'm going to cook. Xiaofeng, you watch her carefully. You must pay attention. Don't let her cause any more trouble. This drunkard, after getting drunk, often ends up bruising herself all over. Xing Yishan had put on an apron. Her hair was tied up. Her peach blossom eyes squinted into crescent moons as she gave her instructions. Her whole person exuded a gentle, virtuous beauty. But I just smiled wryly and raised both hands above my head in a gesture of innocence. Based on the level of tacit understanding between me and Auntie Xing, I could naturally hear the threatening undertone in her words. They'll count that as you being sensible. Xing Yishan gave me a charming glance and turned to walk towards the kitchen, Sai leaning against the kitchen wall. Xing Yishan let out a long sigh, her expression a mix of complexity and resentment. She didn't expect me to be well-behaved forever. After all, I'm a young man, full of energy. Besides, I also exercise regularly. I have a tall physique and high spirits. Moreover, she knew Li Mengxi's personality very well. She was always so naively bold, without any restraint. Me being clung to by her like this, rubbing against me, I must have felt uncomfortable long ago. After all, I'm not the type to let others mess with me. It was only out of respect for her that I was being patient. This, in turn, warmed her heart. Shingi-shan could feel that her place in my heart was still very important, but because of this, she also felt a bit helpless.